How's it going, guys? In this tutorial I'm checking out Symfony, which is a framework for PHP, and I've never used this before. I've never made an application with it. All I've done is just successfully installed it now, so I'm just going to show you how I did that. And as most of you know, I have a lot of experience using CodeIgniter before, so basically we're just checking this out now and seeing how we go with it. So you can start off by going to symfony.com, and you'll see this download now button right here, so we'll just click on that to download it, and it's going to take us to this page. And basically here I just chose Symfony Center 2.1.7 zip. I'm assuming this is their stable version, and we're going to click download now. While that's downloading, just make sure you have your Apache server running and MySQL running. In my case I'm using XAMPP. So I've got Apache running here, MySQL running, and we're good to go there. And it looks like our download's about to finish right here. So once that's done, you'll open up your zip file, and your zip file will have the Symfony folder inside it. And you want to open that up, and what you want is these files inside here. In my case, I don't need to unzip this because I've already stored them in another file, or another folder right here, which is Don't Touch Symfony. This is just sort of a naming convention I do, so when I download something like CodeIgniter or Symfony or HTML5 boilerplate, I want to keep the original version intact, so I just prepend it with Don't Touch. So basically what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to Control A and Control C all of those files, and I'm going to make a new folder, and this is going to be called Symfony. And inside Symfony I'm going to paste in the files for Symfony. So in this folder, we can mess around with it, we can break it, anything we want, but we're not going to affect our original version that we downloaded, and that is in the Don't Touch folder that I created. So we'll just wait for this to finish now. Once your files have finished being pasted inside the folder, what I want you to do is open up this web folder right here. And inside the web folder there is a config.php file. And what this is going to do is it's going to give you sort of like an installer page and make it easy for you to configure your Symfony application. But basically all this config.php is doing is it's going to write to another file which is in the app folder, and then under config, and then this config.yml and parameters.yml, and I believe it's going to write to parameters.yml, and then and it also uses config.yml. Actually, we can just open up parameters.yml right now with Notepad++, and we'll see that we don't have a port configured here. The database name is set to Symfony, and there's no password, and basically we are going to update the parameters right here. I know this is going to be different because I'm not using a database called Symfony. I'm going to change that to something else. So let's just close this for now, and let's go to our browser here, and let's refresh this one right here. Yeah, we have our Symfony folder here, and I'm going to open that up, and I'm going to go to web. This isn't going to work, but we need to add on config.php, and we're going to come to our Symfony welcome page, and it's telling us here, what we're going to do is we're going to write to app/config/parameters.yml, and they say we could do the same thing directly, just by editing this directly, but in this case we're going to go through their little installer screen. There's a few recommendations here. You can install Symfony without doing the recommendations, but in my case I'm going to do the first one, which is install and enable the INTL extension which they use for validators. And the way we can enable this is if you're using XAMPP or whatever you're using, you want to go to your php.ini file. So we're going to click on config right here and then go to php.ini, and let's just make this bigger, and I'm going to go Control F and search for INTL, and you'll see that the INTL right here, it has a semicolon at the front of it. That means, we have this extension available in our PHP installation, but it's been disabled by this comment. So we're just going to remove that semicolon at the front, and we're going to save it, and we're going to close this stuff out, and then I'm going to restart Apache so that it takes effect. And you'll see that now if I go back to our config.php page and we refresh here, now we don't get that recommendation anymore. We just get this PHP accelerator one. But I'm not going to do that one because it has to do with caching, and we just don't need to bother with that right now. So we can go to the next step here, which is configure your Symfony application online, and I'm going to click on that. And the first page is to configure your database. So MySQL PDO, that's what we want. This host is correct because we're working on localhost. And for my database, my user is root. I don't have a password. If your MySQL uses a password, enter that here. And the port for MySQL, I believe I can just leave this how it is, and it will guess the correct port. But I'm actually just going to try adding it in. Our MySQL runs on 3306 by default, so I'm just going to put that in here right now. 3306, and we can go to the next step. This is the global secret you'll put in, and this is used for CSRF protection. And I'm just going to go with their randomly generated one here and click next step. And then it says well done, and your distribution has been configured. And basically what it's done is it's overwritten the parameters.yml, and that's found under symfony/app/config/parameters.yml. And we'll see here we've got our port name in there now, and actually I forgot to put in my database name that I wanted to use. The database that I wanted to use was WorldDB, and I got this from MySQL's website. Basically, it's a sample database which has got a lot of cities and countries in it. So I think what I can do is I can just go back here, and I'll go back again, and this is the database name right here, and I'm going to change this to world_db. Okay, and let's go next again. Next again, and I believe that's writing over the file again, and let's go next step here, and we'll see now that our distribution is configured again, and here we have database name as WorldDB, we have our port number there, and so forth. And now we can go to the welcome page, and just before I go to this welcome page, I want to actually check out that YML file. So in our config here now, parameters.yml, and I'm going to edit this with Notepad++, and you'll see we did write to this file. There's WorldDB, there's our port right there. So if you want to do it more directly, just edit this file directly, and this file is getting included by config.yml. So if we open this up, you'll see that there's some imports here, parameters.yml and security.yml. So you can see all these different variable names right here in the YML file, and that is importing these from parameters.yml, which we just wrote to. Okay, so so the default page is it's symfony/web/app_dev.php, and we can click on run the demo right here, and they have 3 available demos here, and we're just going to check out the hello world one right here. And you'll see here it says hello world, and it shows you the code in the controller right there. And this world part right here, this will be the parameter that you're passing to the function. So I'm guessing here that demo is the controller, and then hello is the function name, and then world is a parameter that we can pass it. So if I change world here to Anthony, that's going to work. Hello Anthony. Or we can change this to anything we want. YouTube. Okay. But so that means that's the parameter, and then this is going to be the method. So there's going to be a hello method here. If I change this to something else like how are you, that's not going to work because it wasn't found. This method obviously hasn't been created there. So that's just my best guesses so far for how this is working. And basically we've installed Symfony here, and thanks for watching.